So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Galaxy A52 5G. It's got a flat 6.5 inch display that's 120 Hz refresh rate, and this one is a full HD 1080p resolution. 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and you can use a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. Fingerprint sensor built into the screen, 32 megapixel selfie camera, and then it's got a quad camera set up on the back, with the main camera being 64 megapixel. You also get a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then two 5 megapixel lenses, a macro and depth lens. And it also has a 4500 milliamp hour battery. And this one's right at $500, so this is going to be the next 5G model up from the Galaxy A42 5G. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out to make more videos just like this one. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. SIM and micro SD card removal tool. You can see it's the same quick reference guide for the Galaxy A32, A42, and A52, all 5G versions, and terms and conditions. Okay, a little bit lighter weight than I thought it would be. You also have your adaptive fast charging brick and USB-C to USB-A charging cable. And it looks like that's everything. I always like to check underneath here just to see if anyone left some money for me, but no luck. This is the awesome black color, and it's a matte finish on the back. It definitely resembles my S21 Plus. They actually look somewhat similar at a distance, but yeah, you can tell which one is more expensive just by picking them up. The Galaxy S21 just feels a little bit heavier, and it just feels a little more premium around the edges. You can see the selfie camera is hole punch style right in the center. Definitely nicer than when they put it in the corner, in my opinion. Power and volume buttons there on the right hand side. And then on the top is your SIM card slot and micro SD card tray. And then along the bottom is your charging port, headphone jack, and bottom firing speaker. And there's your quad camera setup on the back and flash. You can see it does stick out a little bit, but not too bad. So overall, yeah, the build quality on this actually feels really nice. To me, it feels right on par with something like the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 4a 5G. I like what I see so far. Now when setting up, you're going to get face recognition, fingerprints, pattern, PIN, and password. I kind of like how they do the notification shade now, where it's got this transparent box that covers everything. And then in the notification shade, you're going to get pretty typical stuff here. Auto rotate, airplane mode, flashlight, mobile data, mobile hotspot, link to Windows, screen recorder, power saving mode. You also get smart view, nearby share, eye comfort mode, dark mode, do not disturb, and scan QR code. Nice thing is they don't put a lot of bloatware on here. You get a handful of Google apps, 4 from Microsoft, 9 different ones from Samsung. Now if you log in with your Samsung account, obviously there's going to be more than that. And the nice thing is, looks like you can uninstall some of those apps. Looks like it's using 20% of the 128 gigabytes right out of the box. I feel like that's pretty typical for most phones. And this one does come with Android 11, One UI 3.1. Hold on, I gotta switch the button order here. I'm just not a big fan of what order they put those in. I just prefer it closer to stock Android. And of course, you can use swipe gestures or buttons for the navigation. Fingerprint scanner definitely isn't the fastest out there, but it does seem to work pretty much every time, so that's nice to see. I wish they would put it just a little bit higher though, like the Galaxy S21. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. It really helps me make more videos just like this one. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first case up is by Rinky. This one is the Fusion X. It's only $13 on Amazon. This is the camo black version, but it also comes in black where it's just clear on the back. Nice thing is speakers are nice and loud on this one, and you get a bottom firing speaker plus one up by the earpiece. Overall, pretty nice software here. Looks like it still has to download quite a few apps and then update. I'll go ahead and update those real quick, and then we'll take a look at the cameras. Now in the camera app, you're gonna get this fun mode. I'm not sure why, but I don't get that on the Galaxy S21 Plus. Apparently this is for Snapchat, but I don't really use that, so. You also got single take, where the camera automatically captures a wide variety of pics and clips from any scene. Photo. Now when you zoom in, the shutter speed does slow down a little bit. Overall though, the photos actually look pretty good. You can see there, you can tap to scan. And then for video, you can do 0.5 zoom all the way up to 10x. And then in more, you've got Bixby Vision, AR Zone, AR Doodle, Pro, Panorama, Food, Night, Macro, Portrait, Pro Video, Super Slow-Mo, Slow Motion, and Hyperlapse. So I think they're gonna pretty much have everything you'd want covered. You can switch it up here at the top to 64 megapixels for taking photos. Video, you can go up to 4K at 30 frames per second. You can also do 60 frames per second at full HD. So here's just a few samples of photos and video, just to give you an idea of what to expect. So overall, I think you can get some really good shots with the cameras on here. Now, is the software and shutter speed the fastest? No, but with the right lighting and a little patience, I think most people are gonna be happy with this phone. Even the selfie camera is really nice on here, like with most other Samsung phones. So it's definitely gonna work good with Zoom meetings. Just don't expect flagship performance. I think for 500 bucks, the camera could be a little bit better. I'd have to do a direct comparison, but I don't think you're missing out on much by choosing the Galaxy A52 5G over the Galaxy A72. Performance-wise, the Galaxy A52 5G is a little better than the Galaxy A72. Sort of weird, but yeah, the more I use this phone, the more I'm thinking this might be the better buy over the Galaxy A72. I'll have to do some more comparisons, but I definitely like what I'm seeing so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was Samsung's new favorite or most popular phone, like the Galaxy A51 last year. You get high frame rates and HD graphics on games like PUBG Mobile. Pretty smooth gameplay on Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 9 as well. I would say gaming is even one of the strongest features on this phone. The screen is nice to look at as well, just like with a lot of other Samsung devices. I would definitely recommend this phone. Feel like it's a pretty good mid-range phone. But at 500 bucks, I can't help but wonder, is this phone better than something like the Pixel 4a and Pixel 4a 5G? So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do some more testing with this phone. But yeah, overall, I like it. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.